Thanks for joining me again on a video of our homestead. I've been wanting to do more videos, but it seems like there's just always so much going on and we had so much rain. But I wanted to show you one of the newest things that we have is our chicken coop. So we have 7 chickens at the moment, as you can see here. My husband has done a run, and once we fence off the front area, I will let them out into that area so that they can free range as well. But for now, they have this run to be in. That's their coop, which my husband has built as well. He built this completely himself. And there's 8 nesting boxes on the inside. And I just did it like that so that way it can aerate well as chickens can run quite hot. But I get a lot of scraps and things for them, not just from what we use, but I have a local produce store that's like literally 2 minutes away. And I asked them what they did with things that were going bad that they wouldn't be able to sell anymore. And it turns out that they now give them to me. So I get lots of greens and things like corn and broccoli, anything that's going bad that are like cruciferous wise. They just give me a big huge box. They give me a big box and I just dump it in there. I mean, you can still see like some lettuce and there's cabbages and things like that in there, which my chickens will easily go through in a day. They love. I also ferment their food, so their seed gets fermented and soaked, which they seem to really enjoy. And I add some apple cider vinegar into the water just to see if I can try and keep them nice and healthy. It's been really, really wet and rainy and getting quite cold. It's raining again actually, which is frustrating. But these are the ladies. Oh, how I love you, ladies. Chickens are definitely fun. They're so much fun to watch. They're super friendly. I mean, they will jump right onto your arms, pretty much. I love my chickens. I got given 4 of them, which was amazing. Only at the moment, though, 2 are laying out of the 7 chickens. Yep. The rest of them are molting. But that is okay. That is okay. They're enjoyable. They're beautiful, and I love watching them. Hopefully, though, I want to get some Easter eggers to get some more colorful eggs and a Welsumer for the really dark chocolate egg, as I want that beautiful, colorful array of eggs. The Leghorn lays white eggs, but the rest of them lay brown eggs. So I'll just show you what else we have been doing on our property so far, so you can see. Something else we have going on is my husband has just started he's just started building our raised garden bed. So this is the first out of what I would like is 12. But realistically, this year, he's probably only going to build me about 6 of them. And there's our dog. They are quite long. So probably, I mean, he had the measurements, but they're about 15 feet long each, at least. And they will be about 3 feet high. So that is a pretty good height. And the width is also going to be about 3 feet width-wise. So the plastic will just be lined around it. We're going to be putting, so the bottom won't be covered in plastic because that will defeat the purpose of when it rains. It would just hold the water in. We don't want that. So there will be an opening at the bottom. We'll be stacking it with hay. And then the other raised garden beds that we currently have around, mostly in the back that you'll see, we're going to be emptying them out and using that soil and putting it in here for these garden beds. And then just keep making our own with time and adding more to it. So we're hopefully not going to be buying any soil as we slowly build one garden bed at a time. We'll be making our own soil to fill these garden beds with. And that's the bonus with chickens, is they create a lot of really good soil. So that is our plan. So I'll just show you a couple of the other things that we have been doing at the moment as well. So let's keep moving. Oh, it had been so much rain that, well, our driveway needed to get redone. That's why my husband got this, so that he could fix up the driveway a bit. So he can fix up the driveway a bit. So we need all this dirt, and that's something else that he has to do. That's not really, I guess, like homesteady wise, but it's something that needs to be done. So that's to fix up the driveway, because the water just pools in one spot, and the more you drive across it, it just makes bigger holes. We got a raspberry bush, which we have actually just gotten a few raspberries already off of, but it's actually been going really well. It was only quite small when we first got it, and it's been growing just in the last couple of weeks. We've only had it like 2 weeks, and it's producing and just growing longer. And my sweet potato, for some reason, I didn't think they really liked winter, but it's actually starting to take off a lot now, which I thought was funny enough. I guess maybe it's because of all the rain. So next weekend, my husband is getting an excavator to do more work. So I'm really hoping. I mean, we had a week of sunshine, which was great, but today was just supposed to be cloudy, and it's already raining again, which is frustrating, because things are only just kind of starting to dry, and I really want him to be able to dig out this area to put in like a bit of a dam. But if it keeps raining, it will just get way too wet and muggy for him to really work well to do the dam. But we want water tanks and stuff in, so he's hiring the machine so he can do some holes first of all for the fencing for the front, and so we can flatten the area for our water tank. So we're getting that next weekend. And we've just found with all the rain we had, we saw where it was pooling and doing a bit of damage, so we need to do some drainage, which is always fun, doing that extra bit of work that you never intend to really do. But you learn more, I guess, with being on your property and homesteading, is you learn more about how your land works. And in a way, like, I mean, it's a good thing. It's going to happen and you can fix it, right? So, like right over here, we would get lots and I mean, the water literally just pooled. Like, it just stayed there for ages. It's only just drying out now after a whole week of sunshine. So we're going to be draining all this area. He'll be digging with the excavator. I'll do like a little bit of a video. On my next one, you'll see just some of the work he's actually doing. So we're going to be doing that there because he wants to put a retaining wall in, as we have other plans for other things. All of our plants, all of those have to come out, which I'm very upset about because I have lots of things growing currently, specifically those 3. These 2 I kind of let go. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I knew he was going to pull those out, but the rest of them have to go. As the water log was just ridiculous, and while he has the machine, he really wanted to do the trenching so everything could drain well and get stuff ready for when he does the retaining wall, which will be going all along here. He's also cleared that back area, as we decided we're actually going to put our we want to put a shower, toilet, and also a washing and dryer over there. He's getting some solar panels soon, so we want to, in that section, put in the solar panel system. And where that window is, if you can see the window, is where we're going to put an opening for the door so you can enter in and out through there into our shed. Something else I'm really excited for is we have bananas. So our banana tree is finally producing bananas. I do not know if you can see them very well, but they are there. We have some ladyfinger bananas that have popped out and are growing. And I'm hoping that all this rain won't kill them and that we'll continue getting more bananas. But at the moment they're there, so that's very exciting for us. I also had thrown a whole bunch of bok choy seeds just to see if they would take, just on the ground here. This is actually going to all be for the guinea pigs, this area. We're going to be fencing that off. So we're just letting it grow. But I had seen if the bok choy would just grow. These are seeds I had saved from our last lot of bok choy. And yes, I have lots growing all around now. Along with a nashi pear tree I planted in. So I had that from a cutting. So that's just the nashi pear there, which I took from a cutting from the community gardens that we have here. I asked them first, and they said yes, and all my cuttings seem to have taken, which was really exciting. So I just planted one at the meantime. The rest are still in pots, but I put cinnamon powder on the bottom of them, wrapped it, as it's supposed to be a root stimulant, the cinnamon powder, wrapped it in wet paper towel, and then I just stuck that in pots with soil and kept them fairly moist, and a lot of them grew leaves. So that nashi pear, quince, and elderberry flower that I did. So that seems to have worked pretty well. And this is just our garden over here. So my husband was really excited about his corn. We had 6 cobs on this corn, which is pretty exciting. We've already taken one out. It was quite large. Now, I'm not quite sure why some of the cobs, like some of the kernels didn't form. There was nothing there. A lot of it did form, but some of them didn't, which was frustrating. So if you know why that happens, I'd love to know why some kernels just don't seem to form. Now, with all the rain we had, I noticed it must pool and just stay in this area, so it's obviously not good drainage. My zucchini has suffered. I didn't even know that zucchini, so I was cutting out, I noticed it was rotting, so I was cutting out some of the stems, and they were pouring water out of the stems, so obviously it holds water in the stems, so they were drowning to death. So I cut out lots of the stems, and I'm hoping that they will survive. But, I mean, it's raining again now. Hopefully that will stop. It's supposed to be sunny after that. And hopefully they'll be able to come back. Other than that, I planted a lot of seedlings in here. So I have like my globe artichokes, which are doing well. They're only just small, as you can see right there. I've got Brussels sprouts growing in there. I've got my cauliflower. One sec. I have the dog that's always trying to get into my garden and destroy things. This will be another garden bed, which is why we have all this cardboard there. Corn. We have lots of corn. It's nice and big. I've got broccoli and cauliflowers, which have taken and are growing well. There's 2 different types of broccoli. And there's cabbages. So, a lot of small things growing amongst the larger things. And I'm looking forward to when it's all like growing and looks abundant and beautiful. But for now, this is it. Some of the stuff is obviously going to be coming out, like all those wild lettuces. I'll probably take them out soon. I'll just save seeds from one of them. The rest will go to the guinea pigs. I'm sure that they will appreciate that, and the chickens. Other than that, there hasn't been too much more happening. My husband had to dig out some of the rocks he had put it on the side of our house, that gravel I would have showed you in the last video. He had put gravel all along here and along the back, but he found that was actually holding in water, which is just, we're afraid it's gonna move the concrete and start forming cracks. So he's been slowly having to dig that all back out. So he's been digging that out by hand. Lesson learned is more work that he had to do, because wow, this area holds a lot of water when it rains. So he's been digging that back out. He's gonna put plastic along here, and then he's gonna put a tube through there, and then put the rocks back. But that way, the water can't just hold against the concrete and move the slab. And then we're gonna be digging this out, so that's where we're gonna have more water tanks going along here. But it is a lesson learned, and sometimes you have to learn the hard way, isn't it? So I do feel bad for him. He's the one who has a tough job, and his body is taking a toll on his body, but he still comes home and does more work here, so I can't complain. I'm hoping that my cuttings that I have taken from the garden will survive the cold, as they were growing leaves and doing really well, but it looks like the leaves are starting to wither, and I don't know if it's because it has gotten really cold all of a sudden. It's going into winter, like I said. Been really rainy and not a lot of sun, so I'll see how they go. Other than that, that's kind of what's been happening here. Our next video, I'll show you some of the excavation work that he ends up doing and things like that. It's really hard for me to make lots of videos at the moment, sorry. She decided she just doesn't want to sleep anymore. She takes like 3 10-minute naps a day, even if she's on me. So she just took right now with a 10-minute nap. And then that's it, she's up. And I find it very difficult to do a video when she's awake. Plus my other 2 children are always very loud, and my dog. I feel like I have 4 kids. But I will do my very best to make definitely at least 1 video a week for you. But I'll be aiming for 2 where I do cooking from scratch, gardening, as well as just what we're doing on our homestead, mistakes we make, things that's going on. and updates that we are doing. So if you're interested in that, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again soon with most likely a cooking from scratch video, and then probably another update on what's happening. Have a lovely day, and see you in the next video. Bye!